Hello and welcome to the Warshipologist, a channel devoted to the history of the USS Wasp CV-7. In this episode we're going to look at the commissioning ceremony. Thursday, the 25th of April 1940. In Europe, the Germans are in the process of completing their invasion of Norway. And in the Pacific, the US fleet is exercising in Hawaiian waters and would be based there permanently the following month. And in balmy Massachusetts, the Wasp is tied up starboard side to at the South Boston Army Base. After 4 long years of construction, she is finally ready to be commissioned into the United States Navy as CV-7, the 7th of a new line of warship that are about to revolutionize naval warfare. Before we look at the commission, let's take a quick look at the South Boston Army Base. This picture postcard from the 1930s shows the base, which is situated about 10 miles to the north of the Fall River shipyard. It also tells us that it has the largest dry dock in America and the longest loading dock in America. The base was built in 1920 as an Army point of embarkation on shallows known as the Commonwealth Flats. The northern part was given to the Navy and became the South Boston Naval Annex. The southern part was given to the Army. It saw extensive use in World War II and continued as an operational base until 1974. The land was sold to the City of Boston in 1980 and today it operates as a business park. Here is the official programme for the ceremony. Inside it gives us information about the construction period. The USS Wasp CV-7, authorised by the Act of Congress, March 27, 1934, was built by the Bethlehem Steel Company, Quincy, Massachusetts. The keel was laid in April 1936 and she was launched April 4, 1939. This is the 7th aircraft carrier and the 4th originally designed as such, and is the 6th naval vessel to be named the Wasp. It lists her commanding officer, Captain John W. Reeves Jr., and her executive officer, Commander Harold B. Salada. On the last page, the booklet tells us that this is the 6th ship in the US Navy to bear the name Wasp, and then gives us information about her predecessors. The first Wasp was a schooner of 8 guns built at Baltimore, Maryland. She operated with the 1st American Squadron, organised in 1776, and was commanded by Commodore Isaac Hopkins. She participated in the capture of Nassau, the action against HMS Glasgow, the capture of the British brig Betsy, and the recapture of a French schooner that had been made a prize by the British. In November 1777, the Wasp was blown up by her crew to avoid capture by a British squadron. The second Wasp was an 18-gun brig built at Washington Navy Yard in 1806. In 1812, under command of Master Commandant Jacob Jones, she captured the British brig Frolic. At the conclusion of the action, the British 74-gun ship Poitiers arrived and recaptured the Frolic and captured the disabled Wasp. The third Wasp was an 18-gun ship built at Newburyport, Massachusetts in 1815. In 1814, under command of Master Commandant Johnston Blakely, she captured the British 18-gun brig Reindeer. In the same year she defeated HMS Avon, which sank after the action, and captured HMS Atlanta, 8 guns, which was sent in with a prize crew. The report of the prize crew and of a Swedish brig which the Wasp spoke and boarded is the last ever heard from the Wasp, whose disappearance is one of those unsolved mysteries of the sea. The fourth Wasp was an iron side-wheel steamer, formerly named Emma Henry and purchased in January 1865. She operated off the Atlantic coast in 1865. Later she was attached to the South Atlantic Squadron and was condemned and sold at Montevideo in June 1876. And the fifth Wasp, formerly the yacht Columbia, was purchased during the Spanish-American War. She served in the blockade of various Cuban ports and was sold out of the Navy in November 1921. In the US Navy, the commissioning ceremony happens in the following way. Officers and crew members are assembled on the flight deck. Formal transfer of the ship to the prospective commanding officer is done by the Chief of Naval Operations or his representative. The national anthem is played, the transferring officer reads the commissioning directive, the ensign is hoisted, and the commissioning pennant is broken. The prospective commanding officer reads his orders, assumes command, and the first watch is set. The sponsor is traditionally invited to give the first order of the ship's company. Man our ship and bring her to life, whereupon the ship's assigned crew would run on board and man the rails of the ship. The ship is docked starboard side to in this position. The following photograph is taken from this position. You can see the men arranged into divisions, and a small crowd has gathered on the row bridge to watch the ceremony. I also found one on the deck which I got from a Facebook page dedicated to the National Aviation Museum. We're next to the island, looking aft, and elevator number 2 is in the down position. The ensign has not yet been raised, so I assume this was before the ceremony had taken place. There's also a similar photo which was used in an advertisement, and it shows the elevator raised. You can see the long offices in the background, and they're still there today. That's it for this episode. Just one final note, the 25th of April holds significance in this story because as well as being the Wasp's commissioning date, it also happens to be the birthday of Captain Reeves. It is also the day that Harold Salada died in 1977, and happens to be the birthday of yours truly. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel as there are many more videos to come.